What is going on, friends, fam? We're here for extra special morning show, day 991 in a row. I figured we'd get 2 in today. I'll see you in a second.
Some night when the wind starts blowing, I'm going to find a way. Some night when the world stops hating, we're going to find a way. And I'll keep waiting until we find that day. Yeah, I bet I'll keep saying, I'll keep playing. Oh, until you meet us one day. Yeah.
Come on, fam.
Time.
Let's stop the hate.
Yeah.
Let's stop the hate. Let's stop the hate.
Hey, yeah.
It might be late, but let's stop the hate. It's Friday. It's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man.
Today, looking for another way.
I'm here to ease my mind and help my living. It's a Renaissance Man. It's the daily variety show, Mark Pires Renaissance Man. I'm here to connect with you, to amplify your current state, and I'm here with you on day 991 in a row of the Renaissance Man show. And we're gonna get into it twice today. Yeah, we got 2 shows today. So excited about this. I'm still in the process of waiting to get my car, so I had an opportunity today to join you guys for a morning show. And in a perfect world, I think this would be probably a better time of day to join you guys, because midday, lunchtime, you know, probably not many streamers on right now, so get more people to be able to hang out for a little bit. So I'm not sure if I can keep this up, but I like the idea of some sort of midday show. Anyway, how's everybody doing? It's Friday, day 991. Last night was pretty crazy. After the show, I just want to share something. I went over to this new platform I just signed up for called Big O. And I didn't know that this was like this, but I'm in there and I'm having a conversation, just doing some Renaissance Man. And I pushed some sort of button, and all of a sudden I got like people popping on the screen with me, like 15 in a row, and just having conversations with people. And I noticed a few things I want to share with you. The first thing I noticed is that there's such a divide in this country that a lot of people, like, what I noticed, a very, very weird thing is, like, some people just are judging before they even start a conversation. A couple people, maybe about 5 of them, the moment they saw me were just like, okay, bye, Mark. And like, that's weird. And I noticed that a lot of it had to do with race. It's weird. People are so fixated on race right now. So then I had a conversation with a couple of other people from Georgia, 2 awesome guys. Amazing. One of them is, he's training to be a doctor. He's in school. And currently he's, in between time before going back. But we had a great conversation. And I think my favorite moment was while we were chatting, he put his remote control down because he's in the middle of playing a game. And I just started explaining how, what I've been doing here for 990 days in a row, 991. And that no matter how hard you're beaten down in life, if you believe in yourself, you step up and you show up again the following day. And he stopped. Somewhere in the middle, he stopped, put his controller down. He just started watching and listening. And at the end, he said, this is exactly what I needed. I can't believe you. Thank you for speaking to me, because most people are just, what's up? But I spoke. I let the moment happen, and some really great words came out. I remember it was powerful stuff. I don't know what I say a lot of times because it's all in the moment. But I was just trying to fan his flame for wanting to be a doctor, and to just keep the focus on that and understand that something, like being a doctor is not an easy thing to accomplish. You need to understand that up front there's a ton of work, and there's still a ton of work the rest of your life. But the reality is, once you accomplish it, you got like one more, I don't know, it's like one more, we need our woohoo from Zabrosk. You got, Zabrosk, can you give me a woohoo midday? Woohoo! He came in for the midday woohoo. I got lucky. Zabrosk, we're not paying you twice, though, today. This is a one-timer. Well, one-time pay. You get paid 1 per day. Did you see your contract? Your contract says it all. You got to look in there. You get paid 1 check per day. So your woohoo is a double-decker today. That's right. But seriously, if you think about it, you put a feather in your cap when you accomplish something in life. And this is what it's about, is building confidence in self so you can feel, like you can accomplish anything, or at least give it your all. Don't get caught in this cycle of thinking that failure is a thing. It really isn't. Failure fine-tunes your greatness, and you can't understand who you are and what you can do until you fail at things. And often, you should be trying things very often in order to determine what you're good at. What you're good at, you dial in on and you keep going. But anything that brings you down, anything that makes you feel, inferior and that you can't accomplish it, put it aside. There are certain things that you have tools within your toolbox that nobody has. You just have to figure out which ones are best. Everybody's walking around with a freaking Phillips head screwdriver. That may not be yours. You may be working with a wrench or something like that. You know what I mean? Or a hammer. They say in life there's 2 types of people. There are hammers and nails. For the most part, the hammers right now, if we can just stand back, is people who say you have to do things. We make you do things. We don't know anything yet, but you're going to do it. Those are hammers. The questions, do you want to be the nail? They want us to be the nail. Every single one of us. We are the nail. And whatever they do, we just sit there and get banged into the wood, into the 2x4. And I'm not ever going to be the nail. I was the nail many times in my life, but when I was younger specifically. But now, here where I am in my life now, married, kids, family, and real estate agent. I work my tail off every single day. I pay my taxes. I pay so much in taxes, just like everybody else. It's not fair. They take. They give to people that don't deserve it. The people that will literally just find a way to loop themselves through the system. And then they take more, and then they take more, and then they just raise the inflation here, inflation there. If you sat down and actually looked at what you get to keep, you'd cry. Because it's not what you think. It's not just what they take from the federal, what they take from the state. It's also the fact that they charge you to live in your house. You have your property tax. Your car, you have to pay taxes to have a car. You paid for the car. You own the car. You bought the car. You put gas in your car. But you also have to pay the town a lot of money to keep that car each year. Yeah, and then you have insurances, and it's just unbelievable that you go and buy gas. Yeah, you're paying tax on that gas. Everything is taxed. Food is taxed. At the end of the day, if you thought about how much you're really paying in tax, what are we at? 65% in tax? 63% in tax? You get to keep a whopping 37% of your hard work. And then these freaking politicians just spending our money. They act like it's their money. Oh, we're doing 3.5 trillion this time. Okay, where is that coming from? That's right. You guys are making, most of these politicians have more than $20 million, each of them. How the hell do politicians have $20+ million? Nancy Pelosi, $80 million. How does Nancy Pelosi, a politician, how does she have $80 million, guys? Nobody wants to look into that. You know what? Let's look into a guy who was a billionaire when he got into office, accomplished a lot. He's a businessman. Let's look at him and let's what about the freaking people that have been milking the system for 40+ years and they have $80 million? It's $2 million a year from us. Insider trading. Look at Pelosi. Insider trading. Her husband gets all of the contracts for the post office. $25 billion. She pushed for $15 billion more. It's crazy to me. We live in a world right now where everyone's idiot. I'm like, what is going on? And it's not even their fault. That's the thing. You had 4 years of people just literally calling a president a Nazi, a racist, a xenophobe, a bigot, and all of it were lies, and everybody believed it. None of it was true. He brought the embassy to Jerusalem. That's an anti-Semite right there. His daughter is Jewish now. Married a Jewish person on his staff. Super, super anti-Semite right there. The narrative never made sense, but people believe anything they hear. And the problem is when you start to uncover the fact that the entirety of the mainstream media, everything is all owned by one party. Okay? And then you can start answering some of these questions, like how for the first 9 months of this year, it's been a complete travesty, but you don't hear about any of it. You don't hear about any of it. You don't hear about a guy who walks off camera while his wife is speaking in front of a crowd because he hears an ice cream truck. President of the United States of America. You don't hear or see, you have to see it on Rumble. President of the United States of America is following his Secret Service guy, and instead of taking the path he's taken every day, always takes, he follows him all around the grass and walks around the grass and follows the guy. I feel bad for this man. Cognitive decline is not anything to laugh about. But I've been saying this for a year plus. When I did all those shows last year and got put in a hole, I was showing you guys what was already there, but they would never tell you. Oh, no, he's great. He just stutters. Go back and look at him 15 years ago. He never stuttered. He just all of a sudden stuttered now when he can't speak anymore. Oh, you're going to make fun of his stutter? How dare you? How dare I? How dare you put a candidate up there that's literally a puppet? He can't speak anymore, doesn't know what's going on. There's someone in his ear. He's got a teleprompter the size of Cincinnati, and he still can't read it. Or we had a guy who could get up in front of the camera and just answer questions for hours on end. And by the way, sledgehammers in his face the whole time. He'd just answer questions. Yeah, he would respond with some, darts back at people because he's a freaking businessman and not a politician. But you know what? I don't want a politician. This friggin' guy, all these people that have been in office for 50 years, milking the system, $80 million? Oh, that's a good one, guys. How are your taxes doing? How much are you taking home? We're paying for what? We're doing this, we're doing that. Let's bail out this. Let's bail out let's bail out everybody in finance. Those people who put trillions of dollars away. Let's bail them out instead of the American people. Everything makes no sense. It's for the elitists. It's for the globalists. It's not for us. We are the nails. They take their friggin' hammer and they smash us on the face every day of our lives. The question is, when is enough enough? When are we going to stand up together and say, you know what? No more. This is America. And no matter how much you try to wash away America, cancel America, this is America. I respect my Constitution, and it means something. No matter how much you try to come out on the air and say whatever the frig you think, goes along with the Constitution. No, it doesn't at all. It's tyranny. Our military, you're supposed to protect us from terrorists, foreign and domestic. Right now, isn't it interesting that the one comment that the former president said is that he had such great relationships with all the foreign leaders. The hardest country to deal with for his 4 years was the United States of America. Because of Pelosi and Schumer and false impeachments and people trying to change a narrative because they cannot have a country doing well. They can't have a president who wants the people to actually thrive. We are slaves with this administration and with all administrations prior to the one you just had and you guys forced out. Now, this is not a popular thing for me to say. I know that. But I'm just sick of all the lies. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people being like, no, he's doing a great job. I love my president. He doesn't even know he's president. You love the guy who doesn't even know he's president? He forgets world leaders live. He's reading a teleprompter. He forgets where he is. What? What are we talking? My Aunt Judy told me I should come down here.
Joe, what do we do? Are you kidding me? You guys got rid of me to get that friggin' sleep sofa in here? Oh, just get Kamala Chameleon in instead. Oh, she's in your ear, telling you everything to say, do, and where to go? Oh, this poison.
Yeah, you got poison in your ear. It's such a sad state of affairs that we are living in this time. What I fear most is we are the weakest we've ever been in time, and this guy will be pushed over if someone like China or Russia decides to say, you know what? We kind of like that piece of land over there. Let's call it Russia too. Let's call it China too. We're taking it. Who's going to stop them right now? Sleep sofa? Military? Nobody's working together. They're all just bumbling in the friggin' woods. Nobody wants to call anybody out. Nobody wants to be accountable for their actions. They want to point at a guy who did everything and was smashed in the face for 4 years and continue to point backwards. When you literally sat down day one and signed like 19 or 29 executive orders, you can't blame anything on a previous administration when you tried to wipe it all away day one. Anything that happens is on you. You were there in the Oval. I don't want to hear anything else. Oh, well, they left me with. No. Executive order guy, I don't want to hear it, okay? When you talk about being a dictator and you dictate however you want, you're going to do this. 100 million people. You're going to make sure anything more than 100 people. Excuse me? All of it is mental. There's a famous speech that the Trumper did where he said, you know, this world is, the future's not for the globalists. It's for you. It's for the people. And I'm giving you back this country. This country is yours. And I feel like from that day on, it was over. These freaking people, they did everything and anything to take that dude down. And yeah, he does not have the mouth of a politician. No, but he could stand up there and take questions. He doesn't need a friggin' teleprompter. He can improvise in the moment and speak. Yeah, maybe sometimes just say, look, maybe we could get some friggin' light and like spray it like some sort of like sanitizer. Like, do you have any like, I don't know, hydrogen peroxide or whatever, but friggin' shoot it into your veins, right? And then we kill the COVID, right? And then Dr. Fauci, we could just elbow him in the friggin' fudge. That guy. I want to just share something because I can't talk about anything specifically here, but there's only one protocol when you go, if you're sick and you have to go to ICU or whatever, there's one protocol. The one protocol that we're allowed in the United States, man, this is unbelievable. Only 48% of the time you survive. Yeah. Just with the thing they give you, go look at it. Look at what happened in the original trial. And we have a guy here who's apparently running this, the CDC and all this other stuff. And they don't look at the science. They are not even paying attention to the science. Guys, this is, at least in the United States, we are up against a different enemy. It is not what you think it is. It's not the thing we've been hiding from for a year and a half. I've been saying for a while, hashtag the media is the virus. Just remember that. There's no such thing as anything else. The media just continues to remind you about the fear every second of every day. And you know how beautiful it is that I shut off the Negatube 991 days ago? I don't watch TV. I don't get any of their negativity. So they can do whatever they want, and it just doesn't get to me. I wish you would do the same. I wish you would shut it off. And then you'd start looking at the real facts. And you have to dig. You got to dig. You're not going to find it on Google. You're not going to find it on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. You got to dig. The one stark difference between today and when they created this internet is it's become everything that I feared. I have a quote somewhere where I said in 50 years or whatever, it will be understood that the greatest and the worst invention in the history of time was the internet. The greatest and also the worst invention. I wrote it down. I explained why. I was like, this is the demise of society, but it's also the most amazing thing in the world to be able to access information. But people in general, there's just a contingent of negative, evil people. And unfortunately, what doesn't really make sense to me is evil and negativity seem to spread quicker, and people get on board quicker than positivity. 991 days of a guy trying to tell you you're amazing. And it's like, where the frig? But when you realize they clamp down anything that could affect their message, including this show, because I am just like the guy who's out there telling you that there's another thing that can help you. You understand? The guy that's out there that's saying, I've been doing this to help my people and everyone's been okay. That guy gets shut down. This guy comes out, if you show up here every day for 2 hours, you'll be okay. All of that stuff won't matter anymore. You'll be able to see through it. Clamp down this guy too, because I'm just like that guy. I can help people get away from the negativity. I can help people level out and level up. That's a threat to Zucker Chooch. A threat to Jack Sparrow with his freaking nose ring and his goatee coming down to his knee. Absolutely a threat. Because the narrative needs to continue and it needs to be perceived that that is the only truth. There is no other truth. To the point that every single person that is not curious, that hasn't been red-pilled, every person that hasn't said, you know what, wait a second, this just doesn't feel right, just says, oh, okay. There's a line in one of the songs I wrote recently live. Said, you got to question everything, and if you don't question it, I got to question you. We are living in a time of disinformation. This is where we are going forward. Just, you need to understand that if you are dealing with 24 hours a day of a narrative and a message of negativity, hate, division that's intended to destroy us, and you have the opportunity to shut it off for 2 hours every day in order to really see it clearly when you go back, you need to take that opportunity. It's just like the guy who told you, if you take X, Y, and Z, you're good to go. You got your cootie shot. The Renaissance Man show is the cootie shot. And that becomes a problem. I have to know that to be true because there is no other explanation for not being recommended to anybody in 991 days. If your show sucks, if you don't put out content, I understand it. But when you put out content every day, live every day, 991 days in a row, never a piece of content goes viral, and they're all funny and good music, and you never get recommended for 991 days in a row, I don't want to hear from it. Oh, well, we don't shadow ban. Okay, well then, 991 days in a row, not one viral clip and not one, oh, hey, I found your show on my, check out this new trending thing. Or check out, I see you like talk shows. I see you like music. I see you like comedy. Here's something. Geez, this guy, algorithm. You talk about, having content to hit an algorithm. 1,500 plus videos in almost 3 years and sitting in a hole. This gets to me because I was thinking the other day when UFO Pirate came in, he's like, I don't understand this. You have the same amount of people on when I saw you 2 years ago. He's like, there's millions of people watching. They're lying. They're faking the numbers. I said, no, they're not, dude. They've managed to keep me in a hole for 991 days. The thing is, they've assumed the whole time at some point this guy's going to quit. I am certain they don't think about me. That at one point they put me in a hole. They're like, one day he'll quit because no one's ever going to see him. We put him in a hole and he's there for good. I've thought about erasing all my platforms and then starting it new, just, fresh. And then maybe I would trick them maybe change the name or something, but I would trick them and be something they didn't know. And it's okay. It's not that guy anymore. But I still think it's too hard. You know, after 5 days, oh, it's that same guy who switched channels. So I think last night what I have to say was amazing is while I was speaking to these people on Big O, which I'd love for you guys to follow me over on Big O, they were saying, they were like, holy cow, you've been doing this for how long? I was telling my wife, I was like, okay, I had 2 awesome conversations. I had like 4, but 2 really, really good conversations. And both people were like blown away, not only at the 990 days, but also like what was being said to them. Like you should have seen the look in their eyes, guys. Like I just realized for the first time in my life, how people respond to what I say, because I saw it for the first time. I was watching. It was amazing. I'm in the middle of saying something about how amazing this person that I'm speaking to is. I was like, you have something amazing within you that I know you're in college right now. Don't get frustrated you haven't found it yet, because it will one day present itself to you. The question is, are you willing to then dig in and become the greatest version of yourself? And I'm saying stuff, whatever, and he's just looking back, and I can see his eyes widen. And I was like, holy cow, wait a second, I got a connection here. We are in the middle of something together. And I'm saying to myself, man, they've shut this show down. That one moment proved it to me. Because he wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to keep playing my game. Put the remote control down. And locked in. You don't lock in. You don't put down middle of a freaking game. I used to play games. You don't put down yeah, okay, buddy, whatever. Yeah. You put the pause. Put the thing down. The power of connection is amazing. And I think that there's so much about that we don't understand, but the powers that be do. And I think that they have uncovered early on that there is an ability that this show has to connect with people and to make them feel great. And that's a problem. So let's throw him in a hole until he quits. This show will never grow. That is the perspective of big tech. The perspective of me is you can't stop the light. No matter how much you feel like you're going to push me down, the word will get out. The family members will tell everybody. And before you know it, on Big O or wherever else, people are going to start spreading the word. This guy finished up the conversation. He goes, I'm telling everybody I know what you're doing. He's like, I can't believe this is going on. I don't have this opportunity to find motivation while I'm feeling down on myself, but also get some live music and get some comedy. Doesn't exist. This is the only platform like that. And he's like, he may even be here today. I don't know. He said, I'm going to come in. And so I appreciate the fact that I had that moment to understand that people do respond to this show. They do respond to the content. And they do feel me when I say that I love you. Because I saw that too. This guy, though, another guy I spoke to, had the greatest smile. He's down in Georgia. He's telling me that how he's he's working this job for 10 years, but he had to, last year, because of CV, he had to take, they let him take a year off. And it was really awesome because he starts saying, he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm the team leader at my company. And I said, you know why you're the team leader? And he goes, why? And I said, because that smile. And he goes, what are you doing to me? And I was like, guys, this guy's smile was electric. And I told him, I said, you need to understand, my friend. I said, my quote is that a smile has an energetic value that costs 0 to the currency holder. We all have a power that costs 0 to give, and it affects real change. And you, my friend, are affecting real change every single time you smile, and this is why you are the leader. And he's like, man, thank you so much. I was like, I love that smile, man. Keep it up. And I'm a married man with 3 kids. But I see someone smile and it makes me feel amazing. I'm going to tell that guy his smile is amazing. It's not a weird thing. Every person is beautiful. And if you don't tell them that, they don't believe it. We're so hard on ourselves. Everybody. Please don't beat yourself up. Life is hard enough as it is. Try your best to live in the moment and forget about the past, because the past happened. You can't change it. The future does not exist. We don't have one. We only have right now. And the more you realize it, the more you dial into it, the more you live in it, the more you can find the greatest version, the more you can connect to new ideas and create businesses. You can't do it when you're living in the past. You can't do it when you think about the future and think about what ifs. Well, what if I do this? What if I get that? The one certainty I have is I have to keep selling real estate. That's how I have to make money, and I'm going to show up every day. I'm not thinking anything else is different. That's it. I got to go make my money in real estate, but I'm not forgetting about this world. I'm not giving up on the world like everybody else seems to have. I'm not going to beat the world up anymore and say, I'm ripping this world down. No, we need to put it together. You got world leaders that seem to be working in tandem on a global agenda that is literally global. It's global, okay? So if everybody's working together and it's this global initiative and every leader keeps talking about this NW thing, how far? How much longer until we see this frigging sleep sofo stand up in front of us and say stuff like, look, we're going to have you all in camps. We're going to put you in a camp if you don't get the shot-a-roo. Excuse me, I will never get that freaking thing. There's a new study, 20% of people that got it, they got the big C. All right, 20%. That's real data. And then the only thing they'll give you if you go to the ICU, yeah, that thing, it's like more than 50% that you're done if they give that to you. You're done. And they've been given it. And they said like 6 months ago from the WH, I can't say all things, but the WH, they said that you shouldn't use it 6 months ago. Don't do it. And I'm like, that's the only thing you can get if you have to go in because you're not able to breathe. They are literally killing people. And the scary thing is this. When you know that the data says that, it's like 52-48. And there are many, many physicians who have said, look, you go with the, Wilbur. You do a Wilbur situation. You do a Wilbur situation and you throw some water together with some chlorine and you now are actually effective without doing the 52-48 thing where 52% of the time people aren't getting through it. 48% of the time you're good. 48% of the time you're good. Yes. Oh my goodness, Diana. Yeah, Diana's with us over on Facebook. I'm actually pumped that Diana got the feed because Facebook, Zuckerchooched. Totally Zuckerchooched. There hasn't been a day that people have seen me on Facebook, except I think the first couple days before they threw me in the hole. As soon as you express yourself, as soon as you're passionate about something that doesn't fit their narrative, it's just very easy for them to click you off. Just push a button, guys. Shadow ban. And the sad thing is, you know how many creators they've destroyed that way? I think about how I'm still going. I'm not going to quit. But how many people they've destroyed by doing the same thing they're doing to me? Where people just remember one thing. I started this December 31st, 2018. By then they had shadow banning in place. Prior to that, some of your favorite streamers that have hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers, there was no shadow ban. So people actually saw their content. People actually came in and said, look, I like this. I'll be back. But when you get on December 31st, 2018, when by then Facebook had purchased Instagram and we had no more organic growth. It was done. It came out like, oh, sorry, organic growth is dead. I didn't care. I started the show anyway. I didn't know that there would be this big tech global initiative to destroy anybody who doesn't agree with and preach the same thing that they do. I didn't know that they would use the internet in a way where they show you what they want to show you and nothing else. But that's where we are. We are in a society of propaganda in 2021. When big tech as a whole is not only the culprit, but a monopoly, and then they're pushing propaganda. I still don't understand how they haven't broken them all up. Like, how is that even... And you know why? They keep throwing money at the senators. They keep throwing money at these scumbag pieces of garbage politicians. These people act like they don't realize that we are the majority and they are meant to just pass legislation. They're not It's amazing. I should have gone into freaking politics, guys. I'd be rolling in $40 million right now by now. These people just, oh, what do you want me to vote for? Oh, yeah, sure. How much are you paying me? Scumbags. Total scumbags. No integrity. None. The worst part is that all of us idiots are fooled by the media, we're fooled by the marketing, and we vote the morons in. We vote people in that have been in for 40 years, 52 years, no mind, stayed in the basement for the entire, most popular in history. Yeah. Most bumbling in history, yeah. This dog is annoying the hell out of me right now. I'm going to, I don't know how long this show is going to be today anyway. I wanted to come on just to touch base with you guys and let you know because I'm actually here waiting for my car to get the phone call to pick up my car. I was like, you know what? We're doing a morning show. We're doing a morning show. We're double-deckering it today, all right? You can't do a single show on a Friday when you got Max Scott barking his friggin' face off upstairs. I want to get one of those buzzers that says, I'm doing the Renaissance Man show. What'd you do up there? I'm in the middle doing a show. Yes, it is. Super Trump's right. You know, it's Facce in the house. How are you, Pamela? Let me just go on here real quick and say hi to everybody because I didn't get a chance to do that yet. If you're here, say hello. Adriana in the house. Bex, Christine, Corky, Modoc, Moment of Truth, Pamela, woo! Paul Dillon in the house. Raven kicking it with me. Rose Froman, Super Trumper, and Trish Killian. Guys, that's a healthy. And then we also have Diana over on Facebook too. This is a healthy family show right here on a Friday morning. We're 12 minutes away from the afternoon. So guys, what are you thinking for this evening? Do you guys know that at 10:30 tonight, Ryan Hartwig, Facebook, guess what, sucker chooch? Facebook whistleblower Ryan Hartwig on the Renaissance Man show tonight, 10:30, to discuss his new book. You want to know what the name of the new book is? Facebook, Unmasking of Facebook. Bam! It's something like that. Hold on. What is it called exactly? Let me see. Ryan sent me the link yesterday. It is called... Where is it? Did I miss it? I think I wrote it in the community section. Yeah, I had it here earlier. I just don't see it now. It said in his new book. Anyway, it is... Oh, wait. Okay, right here. His new book is called Behind the Mask of Facebook. What? I can't wait for that one. And I keep thinking, like, I wonder if Mark Zuckerberg sits there at home and he just watches all the whistleblower stuff. He's like, oh, I hope they don't catch me. Stupid man. Because when I have Ryan on tonight, I'm going after the Zuckerchooch. Yeah, you know what? Why don't you stop shadow banning people? You know, nobody likes your perspective anyway. You're a thief. Think about that for a second. You want to control the perspective of the nation, of the world, and you're a thief. Not really interested in that. So what I'm thinking is this. You kind of piss off with that stupid face of yours. Take your $70 billion and get the frig out of here. How about that? How about you allow people to speak? How about you allow others who have a differing opinion to be heard? You can't do that, right? Because you are the most boring person on the planet. I hope you one day see this. You, Zuckerchooch, are the most boring person in the world. When you speak, I fall asleep. You see the energy I have? I fall asleep when you speak. You start talking, I want a pillow. Somebody give me a Joe Biden pillow. Where's my pillow guy? Where's Mike Lindell when you need him, right? I got this guy coming out to talk about his new glasses. I fell asleep already. I'm sorry. What did Mark Zuckerberg just show up on the air? And now I lost a year. I hibernated. You put me into a trance with that stupid voice of yours and that gull on your neck. Hey, why don't you see if you can get that gull removed? What's going on with that? Adam's apple like I've never seen in my life before. What are you doing there, Adam's apple neck? Ugh. Ugh. Right? Well, we designed a program. You design nothing. You're a thief. We stole a program and I decided to call it Facebook. Yeah, that's what happened. Why don't we call it what it is, alien? You know, when you're a thief named Mark Zuckerchooch, and you're also extremely boring, like to the point where like these twins, they're sitting there coming up with this new idea for a new platform called, Class Book. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. There was a guy sitting in the room that was like freaking so bland. They had no idea he was there. They're like talking through him. Oh yeah, no, Winkleblocker or whatever the hell, Winkelslookers. Look, oh, I got this idea. And then you could talk to your friends. And literally right there was a piece of garbage sitting there, but nobody knew because he's like the most boring person on the planet. They just were like, oh, wasn't that idiot moron who's like so boring he makes me want to fall asleep every time he opens his stupid mouth? Wasn't he there too? I don't know. I don't remember because he's so freaking boring. They had to look at a photo. Oh, Winklehaus, did you see it? Look, oh yeah, there are the two of you. You guys are planning, and right there in between you, the most boring man on the planet. Zuckerchooch, yeah. I think what happened was you say you dropped out of Harvard. I think you went to class and they gave you Fs because they were like, well, I guess he didn't show up today. No, I'm here. I guess he didn't show up today. Friggin' paper. You're like a piece of paper within like a 500 stack. You're like, which one is better? None. They're all crap. Oh, we had this guy, Mark Zuckerberg. He was supposed to be in class this year, but he's a no-show. No, sir, I'm right here. I don't know. I guess we're just going to move on then. I got everybody else, but Zuckerberg seems to be a no-show. No, sir, I'm right here. Yep, I guess we're just... Guys, everybody else, your homework for the day is this. Zuckerchooch comes in the next day. Sir, I did the homework. Who the frig are you? I've never seen you in the history of time. It was only when he stood right in front of somebody and he like had the full view of them that they were able to see him. He's transparent. Besides that, nobody knows he exists. They're like, oh, where do you think he got the idea from? You think they were like, hey, Zuckerchooch, I got an idea. Come on over. I want to tell you about it. He was in the room, planted in there. They didn't even know he was there. I want to do a Dos Equis commercial with Mark Zuckerchooch, the most boring man in the world. Right? And you see him, he goes like this. I am Zuckerchooch. That's what needs to happen, right? Because the world is like better off when he's not on camera. The world is better off when he keeps to himself on an island somewhere with his Adreno. I'm just saying, go grab your Adreno, dude, and you can do your thing. Just don't come near us with your creepy ways, right? And that friggin' Adam's apple. I'm just saying, when you got an Adam's apple like that, I just kind of want to go like ding, ding, ding on that Adam's apple. You know, like I'd be the one guy who goes up to a billionaire and I'm like, can I just do something to you, Zuckerchooch? I got to check something out. What is with this thing? Blip, blip. Did you put like a tennis ball in your throat today before you came out here? Ah, nom, 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 nom. Jeez, you are as bland as they come, right? Nobody wants to interview you. When you go on, talk shows, they lose ratings. People literally fall asleep on like right in the middle of it. And then the advertisers start calling in. They're like, I don't want to advertise you anymore. I advertised you during the Zuckerchooch interview and everybody fell asleep. I didn't sell any biscuits. That's what happens when you put the most boring man in the world on camera with you and he literally just eats up your life. Like you got no light. Like the day is over. You lost a full day in 15 minutes. When he speaks to you for 15 minutes, that day's dead. You lost it all. He just sucked Zuckerchooch vampire, sucked away all of your positivity. He sucked away all of your humanness as well and into his alienness. When you're dealing with, the most boring man in the world who's an alien, who's got a freaking lump on his throat that we think he's got a thyroid issue. I'm thinking he eats too much salt. Like, what is with that thing? I got a new glass situation. You got a glasses situation? No, you got a freaking neck situation going on right now. And you know what? You got $70 billion. You think you'd go to the doctor and say, Doc, I need you to help me with my neck situation. I got a freaking gull. Zucker-chooched. You got freaking Zucker-chooched by yourself. Yeah. Born, and then the aliens decide to give you like the biggest, this is the biggest Adam's apple I've ever seen in my life. I think if you were to measure it, someone could scale it. They could grab their ropes and scale your friggin' Adam's apple, Mark Zuckerchooch. And they have to have a safety harness. They can't do it without a safety harness. You fall off the Zuckerchooch Adam's apple? Oh my, you're breaking legs. You are breaking legs. And maybe even more. You may break, like something even worse than a leg. Falling off a Zuckerchooch Adam's apple. It happened in '84. And people, he was a baby. He's walking around, crawling around. I got to find a baby picture of this friggin' kid. The most bland baby on the planet. The most bland baby on the planet. This baby didn't cry, didn't smile. He never went. He just looked at the wall with an Adam's apple the size of a friggin' Buick. He grew into the Buick Adam's apple situation. But, you just have to remember that when you've got a Zuckerchooch situation and you're as bland as they come, and like when people like, oh, you're the life of the party, but they're not talking about you, that is something. I got $70 billion. Yeah, but you're also as boring as like sand. Like if you were like, hey, you have to sit in sand for the rest of your life, that's as boring. There's no sun. You're just sitting in sand. That's as boring as you. Like, I don't want to have dinner with you ever. I don't want to speak to you ever. One day, when they're like, oh, Renaissance Man, you're interviewing Mark Zuckerchooch today because we have billions of people that tune into the show every day. And then it's like Zuckerchooch is like, he needs to get his new initiative out for some stupid thing that nobody cares about because he's so freaking boring. And his people are like, oh, we're going to get in touch with the Renaissance Man show. We got to get you on. I'm like, sure, I'll have Zuckerchooch on. Oh, you mean Zucker Dick? Yeah, I'll have him on as well. So they bring Zucker Dick in, and I'm like, listen, when you are a Zuckerchooch and also at the same time, hybrid, Zuckerdick, double situation going on right there. We have a problem, okay? About, let's call it 23 years ago, I had, a small show on the Renaissance Man show on YouTube and on Facce book, we call it. I actually call it Zuckerchooch book because you're a piece of garbage. And the bottom line was, you shut me down. You put me in a hole. There was a time I had 3,000 friends. I say that in quotes because nobody's known I've been here for 991 days in a row. And if you have 3,000 friends, you would think that maybe 50 people, 100 people would see a show on a daily basis when you've been live for 991 days in a row. I mean, you'd hope 3,000 people would watch you. And actually that your friends list would grow while you've been live for 991 days in a row. But no, everything stayed the same the last 991 days in a row. If you go on Facebook and you look at my feeds and you look at the last 5 or 6 shows, you will see 3 views, 4 views, 7 views. Pray, I ask you, how could 3,000 friends only see my show, only 4 of them see my show, 7 of them see my show on a daily basis for 991 days in a row? Unless the most obnoxiously bland person on the planet decided to put me in a hole because I speak truth, because he's a piece of garbage and he wants the world to think he's not, because he wants them to think that his Adam's apple is okay. They shoot it from an angle where it doesn't look as big as the pyramid. But if you are standing there in front of him, that's Pyramid of Giza style. I'm telling you, you're climbing that freaking thing and the trajectory that you have to get that, hold on a second. Yeah, no, my wife's like, you should have gotten a loaner. I'm like, they don't have loaners right now. You know what I mean? Like, they're just in a situation where there's no loaners at dealerships when you bring your car back for a service. But yeah, video gone for me, Zuckerchooched. Yeah, you got Zuckerchooched. That's a real thing, And when my buddy Tony the other day, he sent me a personal message, a messenger message. He goes, Mark, they block everything you post. And he said it just like matter of factly, like I didn't know. And I said, yeah, I know. 991 days of positivity, live songwriting, and live comedy, and no swearing. They got to stop something like that. It could bring the world together. And he said, it's unbelievable. Every time I see you post something, or I see that you're on, I'll click the link and it say link's not available. And he sent me a picture of it. This is what he gets anytime he sees anything, or he tries to go to my links on Facebook. This is what he gets. I don't know if you can see this, but come on, buddy. It basically says, oh yeah, the page you requested, it cannot be viewed. And then it says like, displayed, it may be temporarily unavailable. The link you clicked on may be broken or expired. Or you may not have permission to view the page. That is the last one. You may not have permission to view the page. You don't have permission to watch Mark Pires, Renaissance Man, because it would help you. You'd have 2 hours a day of clarity. We can't let you have that. I didn't read that last line until now, but that's accurate right there. So I can't change that. But one day I will have a chance to see the most boring man alive. You know? Dos Equis. The most boring man alive. With the biggest friggin' Adam's apple on the planet. 2 world records. 2. Uber thief. I don't think he stole Uber, but he stole Facebook. No, it's, you know what it is, Diana? It's, I mean, I just take it back. Forget about the live songwriting, but if you were to listen to the live songwriting, you know, the stuff, like this is from yesterday. This is a song I wrote 3 days ago. I haven't edited it yet. Change the world. Change the world. So everything I write is about positivity. Everything I write is about our society coming together. And everything I write is about how bad they are. So if you look at, listen, I'm just going to play you a song called Running on Empty. I was actually just going to play that for you now so you can see why I'm shadow banned. Actually, let me put that on now. This is an example of why I'm shadow banned. But it's also an example of why every person in the world should be tuning in. This happened, just for perspective real quick, hold on. Every song that I've ever written here happens live in the moment. I loop it live. I come up with the lyrics live. And the rate at which words come to me when I'm doing this, there's nothing that can be said about it. Absolutely nothing. This is the guy I spoke to last night. He goes, "You mean freestyle?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is freestyle." I maybe should I express it differently when I say improvisation. Freestyle maybe makes more sense to people. These are freestyle songs. Every single song I've written is freestyle. It starts with nothing, piece of music, we jam, and then I add lyrics, and I add a hook. At the very, very end, I come up with some crazy hook, do all these vocal looping, like 5-part harmonies, and we got Change the World, and we get all this vibe thing going, and then I edit it into one song like this. Check this out. Running on Empty.
It's amazing thing, controlling everything. They're like, let's get them hooked down on their 5.6 stream. You're gonna wonder if they can feed you everything. You're wondering, can I ever get the truth? No, cause they've hidden it in front of you, and you keep looking down. There's a world going on around you, but you're so consumed with the lies. We're running on empty, running on empty, running on every day. We're running on empty. Everybody so sensitive, yeah, their skin so paper thin. No matter what always said it affects them, and they can't get through their day unless they make a big scene. But God, looking at this lady, she's so mean. She's on the screen, she's, oh, let's just bow down and let's shut down the rest of the world now. Running on today. I get somewhere before the sun rises, before I have the feeling everybody's screaming at me. Where you gonna be at 9 o'clock on the dot? Expected you there and you're not. Where you at? I don't care, I'm going home. Cause I'm running on empty. Yeah, I'm over. Hey, he's the game, we control the information. Keep them looking down at the screens. No matter what they do, just keep that information coming. You, no matter how fake it might be. In fact, I'll make it as fake as possible so they cannot go home and take their eyes off it. No, we want them there day and night. Oh, do what you gotta do, don't stop. You can't go home neither. And we got you over time, yeah. But you got to get them on mind control. Oh, we're almost there. Feeding a little longer, yeah, they're getting stronger. That connection to hate. Oh, gonna unleash them on each other soon. Then we do. Well, an hour later you can come back and get you something. I'm gonna give it to you later. It's better for me, I don't know, cause I'm gonna dig deep. Gonna find something. I'm gonna find something to take you down with. Running on today. Running on every day. You're running on every day. Running. Yeah, it's the same thing you see when the magician's on the screen, pointing one way, yeah, you do it in the other. Wondering why I can't see where the bunny, the rabbit went in that hop just to pop it out. Got me looking one way, doing something in the other. Holding out one hand, got the stuff in the other, and I don't know why I'm not going undercover, looking in the back end. Cause if you realize what's going on, oh, they got an agenda that they be pushing on, and if you're looking on the surface, you're not gonna find a thing, cause they be hiding it down low. No matter if you put the search query in, you're not gonna find a thing, cause they've been hiding it under your nose, yeah. You gotta look with some crazy codex. You gotta find, yeah, you gotta find yourself some sort of translator to get the information over. I found it in Russian, that I found it, so I gotta find a translator. Oh, I'm gonna do it later.
Running on running on empty. Say you're on empty. Run, 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 run.
It's a big game, yeah, they just hold us down like fish. Yeah, they put out their fishing rod and they put their worm on the end. Yeah, and everybody going to try to grab you with that hook and they pull you in. There's no getting away. Yeah, you got to go before it's too late. So truly wake up, and be aware of everything that's going on around you before it's over. And if you start just saying yes and getting in line, I worry for you, cause there's no time left for you. You can't be a yes man, you gotta question everything, and if you don't, I gotta question you. Got my Cadillac, take it right, no looking back. I'm gonna stop by the gas station, fill it up, and go another 500 miles. And I'm gonna see where I'm at. And you're running on empty. You gotta get up and you gotta make a new memory, because it's gonna get stale right quick. Yeah, and you can pick your moment. You got to stick to it. You got to make the most of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so you running on empty, you running on empty. Fill the tank, I got behind the wheel. I made my way as far as I go, as far as I can see. And I ain't looking back, no one looking back at me. I'm trying to run away, yeah, but you can't run away from you. No, running on empty. Yeah, you're running on empty, running on empty. And you got no way to get it home before you got to get your mind back, your time back. You ain't getting nothing back, so you got to try to settle back in, settle back in. Running on empty, running on empty. Don't go running on empty. Running on empty, running on empty. When you run behind the car, you hope you're gonna go far before the hill drops you down to the bottom. You put it in neutral and you gonna sit behind the wheel. You steer it down the way. Hope you get close to the next gas and that. Then you gonna fill the tank and say thank you, my friend, because it was scary. I didn't know if I would get here. It started getting night. I heard a werewolf was howling in the forest. Didn't want to be alone out there. I pushed as hard as I can. Got here in the end, my friend. And every time we turn around, we see someone in the rear mirror, and we're wondering if it's come on getting clearer and closer. We want to take us down. of town. Don't stop me, I don't want you to hold me down. Running on today. Running on every day. Throwing that pick.
Oof. There are 8 albums currently out in 2021. I'm so happy that Thunderbird signs is Diana, that she's with us. So Diana, I've released 104 songs so far this year, 8 albums. Every month I put out an album of 13 songs. That's an example of one of them. They're all live freestyle moments where we take just music and then I start and I go. I just was actually downloading the one from last night, and I just want you to hear something. I didn't even realize I did this until I was listening back. I actually did 2 songs last night, and I was thinking to myself, the second one was really good, the first was whatever. But listen to this. Yeah. We live over and over again. It's salute, my friend. We live over and over again. It's a loop, my friend. This is a song I wrote last night. Oh, I'm so happy, Adriana. You bought all the albums. It makes me so happy. You know, the stuff that's coming out is like about society, but it's also like, I didn't even realize this. Christine nailed it the other day. She goes, you know, you're like the Tom McDonald of rock music. Like, you know, rock and blues. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm actually doing some rapping too, but it's not really rap. It's just like very fast, you know, society truths coming out, you know, within the melody. And they're all momentary, which is, I love. I don't, you know, because my daughter said to me the other day, so you can't play him again. And I said, no, I could play it back, but I can't play the song again the same way I did the first time because it was all improvised. Now, what I could do is I can actually listen to it enough where I could write down the lyrics, and then I could do it that way, the old school way, where I'd actually write down and then I'd have the lyrics. But no, I don't want to stop. It's weird. Like if I ever have help, if I can ever get an actual Joanne or a Zabrosk type of situation where I have people helping me, I will have them write down everything I've ever written so I could actually play songs for you guys again. Oh, today we're playing Nothing Can Stop the Light. I pull the sheet music up and all my lyrics are there. Because I don't remember what I said in the moment. I listen back to you guys. It's new to me for the first time as well. Because actually, I explained this, I don't know if you guys understand, but like when you're in the middle of writing, you can't be a spectator. You can't enjoy it. You have no idea what's happening because you're allowing. You're in the middle of connecting to something powerful and allowing that powerful thing to be created, so you can't enjoy or appreciate what's happening. It only happens afterwards. So even today, while I'm listening to this, while I was downloading, I'm like, geez, we live over and over again. It's a loop, my friend. I'm like, holy freaking cow. I forgot how great that was. I didn't get to appreciate it in the moment. So now I have 104 songs to appreciate, moments that took place here, and every single one of them is pure fire because I live in the moment here. I don't know what it's like to just living on a memory. Oh, I'm playing someone else's song and I'm playing a memory. No. We are taking the moment and creating something every day. We have, how many comedy shows do we have now, guys? We got Batmark versus Supermark, my first feature film this year. That was, I mean, how many of you guys have seen Batmark versus Supermark? I know Pamela, Christine, Trish, I know seen Batmark versus Supermark. I think that's like, who watches movies anymore? But I still can't believe one person sitting in a basement could film an entire feature film in his head, come up with the whole thing, film it live, like improvise the whole thing. Every word came out of the moment. And then at the end, when I edited it, it's coherent. It like makes sense. I'm like, what? How the hell is that even possible? I thought by the end, I would be just throwing all this stuff together. It'd just be funny, random stuff. But the storyline plays the whole way. I'm like, there's 2 things I think in the movie that I said as Supermark where I kind of like, I had said something different as Clark Kent, and that didn't fully connect, but everything else was dead on. And I'm like, I can't believe I had maybe 50 scene changes. I'm in the city, I'm in Gotham City, and then I'm in like the Batcave, then I'm in the Batwing, and then I'm in, I'm doing a thing with Alfred inside the Batcave, then I'm doing in front of an auditorium, I'm speaking as Mark Wayne, Bruce Wayne's billionaire brother, who now is taking on the role of Batmark. And then I'm Dr. Wayne Doppler, and then I'm Batmark with Dr. Wayne Doppler, and then Dick Facce and Dick Facce with Sonny, and then they're at the pyramids, and it's like all of these things took place in one movie, and it happened all live. None of it was written. It happened live. If you go back to March, there's a bunch of 4 to 5, 6 hour shows, and we filmed the entirety of it live, and I had to take all the best stuff and make the movie out of it. So there's probably 30 hours worth of footage, and I cut it down into an hour and 37 minutes. And gosh, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that movie. It's funny, and there's no swearing. There's no swearing at all. It's just like belly laughs, Like some of the funniest stuff, like I got to get going to go get my car, but some of the funniest stuff ever is Batmark. My first appearance as Batmark in the suit is at 51 minutes, I think, into the movie. And it's like, it's all over from there, guys. As soon as Batmark's in the city with the guy with the armpit, he's got his hand out like this, and he's got a wife beater on, and is sweating down to like here. And Batmark comes walking, and he's like, "Put your arm down. You smell terrible." And he's like, "Have you seen Supermark?" And he just starts, the whole thing becomes about this guy's smelly armpit and the fact that he's touching Batmark in the hiney butt. And he's like, "Stop touching me there. I'm in the middle of trying to find Supermark. You can't touch my hiney butt." It's just hilarious. But again, that's the gist of the, like, as dark as, or as vulgar as it gets. Hiney butt, like there's no need to swear. I know comedians use that crutch, and it is funny to say an F-bomb. Don't get me wrong. If you say the F word, or you say, an S word, and you say it right, it could really, really hit someone and make them laugh. But can you make someone laugh without using a crutch? To me, a crutch also is having, oh my goodness, I just looked down at 1:11:11. Can you do it without a crutch? Now, a crutch is anything. Like, one of my mentors said to me once, only a gifted few can wing it. And I used to think about that a lot. And I'm like, I don't think necessarily that this is a gifted few thing. I think this is more a level of comfort. And when you are comfortable in your own skin and you're willing to be vulnerable, then you can find something new. You can't do it when you're worried about what the world around you thinks. The reality is I wouldn't have gone 991 in a row if I cared that people said, "He's still going," and 16 people watch. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, oh, that guy's still on the air. If I cared about any of that crap, I would have quit long ago, guys. I just don't give a crap. I don't care about anybody's voice outside of the one that's pounding through me. Because all of them don't understand, or they do and they don't want it to exist, because it's not a comfortable thing when you see someone on a path that you can't be a part of. It's like, let me rip that down. I want that guy to be here with me. He's not going to go and do something else. No. There's a weird jealousy with humans. I don't even understand it. And when someone wants to help, they want to hurt. One of my best friends in high school was like this. He would laugh when people fell and got hurt and would like cry. He would laugh when people cried. I was like, what? That doesn't even make sense to me, dude. But that's how he was born. That's how he is. People are all different, but we have the same emotions coursing through us, We just respond differently to different situations. And for him, he responded to someone getting hurt with laughter. I would feel bad and go, "Can I help you? Are you okay?" But there's the two responses. Other times I laugh about something else, like comedy, and he may be like, So we feel the same emotions just at different times in our life. That's why we are absolutely so connected, all of us. We're meant to be one, or at least to understand that we're friendlies. And, outside of the fact that you were born in a specific location, a specific, family, somewhere at a different time than me, means nothing. You were born into the situation you were born into. You were born into a Catholic family, a Jewish family, a Muslim family, whatever it is, you were born into this. You were indoctrinated in. And you're forced to believe what you were told, what you were taught. This is like everything in life. Where you get to a point where you need to do the research. You need to just look at it and say what's right, what's wrong, where did man get involved and put their friggin' thumb in and be like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to push people that way and control. If we understand, though, the one truth that anything man is involved with is tainted. Anything. And I don't want to go into religion, but at the end of the day, I truly believe that God speaks through and to each and every one of us. And the lie that's been perpetuated since I was born, that only 12 people, 13 if you consider Jesus, were the only 13 people that were ever able to speak to God. Thousands of years gone by, but we just have to remember the one God who was here. He was a human, but he was a God. The one human God was here. And I'm like, man, I don't know why I'm all of a sudden thinking this is the most insane thing in the world. We are all the same, including him. We were all the same. We all have the same, connection within us. The same love, potential for love within us, and the potential to create our own existence and future. And being a light being is not just to that one person that they told you about. It's all of us. We're all light beings, guys. You could search your soul and realize you're much more wise than someone's 30 years old or 40 years old or 50 years old. There's much more information that you've connected to in your time that tells you this hasn't been the only time you've been on this planet, right? I mean, it just doesn't feel right. To me, it just seems like they put you here and then you're here and you're stuck here and then they just keep adding to that total. It's a jail cell. Like, hey, buddy, we don't like that you're doing this whole Renaissance man thing. We're wearing like the gray leotard situation, and that's the leader. And you talking and saying this, that, and other thing, that doesn't work for us. So we're gonna just send you to our prison planet. It's called Earth, and it's all the way on the like the outskirts of the universe. We're all partying here downtown. Have fun. We're sending you to the sticks. And you go to the sticks. You have no idea you're there. Every time you're like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm going to get to. Then you all of a sudden, secular. How many millions of years have we been here? Right? Hey, yeah. Oh, who were you before? I was Charlemagne. Maybe you freaking were. I don't know. Energy's energy. You were definitely somebody else. Maybe you were Marco Polo. Maybe you were Maybe I was Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci. I don't know. I mean, these are realities. If you start to dial in, I remember painting the Mona Lisa. When you have the memory to connect to, now they're like, oh no, he got through the system. We didn't think he'd remember. We shocked him to be square one, coming out as a baby. He thinks he's a human. Not a human. No, you're tethered in. Yeah. You didn't know it was an avatar situation? You didn't know this is an avatar situation? Oh, Mark, yeah, you're going back. By the way, you have no control over it. You're going back because we're sending you back. You're in jail. And by the way, that's you. We made you a body and everything. It seems like a really plausible, theory, to be honest. It really does. I mean, just think about. I've said a few things that I think are interesting. Like every generation, there is somebody who's been Christ-like. I don't know if it's Christ, but Christ-like, okay? In order to keep the glue there, for people to stay connected. And it wasn't a one time that man, the spirit of that man was here, because energy doesn't die. And so that spirit, that passion of the Christ, that passion to be something for a world that's dying, it still exists in many generations since. And even right now, there's somebody here on this planet who's doing it. Somebody here who's got the spirit of that, who's bringing it to the surface, because we are not we are not filled with hate. We are not filled with spite, although they want you to believe it. We are really light beings. And I think that we have to clear out all the waste. That's what really needs to happen right now. So you could see the fact that within you is something godlike, okay? Each and every one of you. There's something in you that's godlike. The fact that you're alive is godlike, that you exist. And the fact that energy doesn't die. We can't comprehend anything on this earthly plane. We put so much stock into this body of ours because we are attached to it. We are tethered to it. Now, do we die and we die with the body? Well, if energy doesn't die, we know that's not the case. Does the energy stay trapped inside this body afterwards? No, I don't think that could even be the case either, because once your spirit is gone from the body, now it's out. It's out. It's almost like you're doing, what do we call that again? Where you're like meditating and you have like an outer body experience where you leave your body, and people are doing things like this. I don't know if it's true. I know yesterday Paul said that he tried it. It didn't work. But I think that there's a lot that's possible that they won't tell us about. And you need to connect to the unknown, because there's stuff controlling us, this planet, that we don't have any knowledge of. And they want to keep it that way. They want to keep us enslaved. I think we really are like enslaved. Now, the thing is this. It's all on how your perspective is. Somebody be like, oh, I'm on Prison Earth. That's terrible. I like Prison Earth. I get to create music for you guys. I get to express myself. In the other world, I wouldn't be able to do that. They sent me here because I speak out, because I sing, because I do whatever, They can't have an Isby like that. Is it an Isby? I think it's an Isby. They can't have an Isby speaking his mind out there with the leotard situation. When you're doing a leotard situation and you're doing a, hey guys, you should rebel. No good. That is not a good thing to do. All right, listen, I do have to wrap this up because I have to go and get mi coche. That's car in Spanish if you didn't know it. But you can head to iTunes and you can do a preview of all the songs I've released this year. There's 104 and then there's 13 songs from my album in 2007, which includes this. So Something to Live For, awesome album. And it's a studio album.
Looking for another way to ease my mind and help my living.
So that you can get. So there's literally 117 songs on iTunes. But I'm loving every single one of them, to be honest. And stuff like Nothing Can Stop the Light needs to get out, Running on Empty, you heard. Also, Sign of the Times is powerful. You might want to check that out. And Funk the Division. You Can't Get Away From You. We Are the Change. Everything is Possible. I'm like, are you kidding me? Just the idea. Wicked Game. Cross My Yard. Everything on the album is insane. And they're all live moments. So I'm thrilled that we keep doing it. 2 more coming at you. 2 more I got from last night. I have to record the second one when I get my car, maybe, but I have to record the second one. I have no idea what that one was. But the first one, that was That We Live Over and Over Again Is a Loop, My Friend. That's a pretty cool tune. The next one, there was something even crazier that happened. I don't remember what it is, but we'll see. Oh, Paul read Doug Baker's book on astral projection. Facing East in the Bath. It might work. Not sure. Oh, thank you, Juniper. I'm so glad you guys came to kick it with me. A little morning show today. Remember, tonight I have Ryan Hartwig, Facebook whistleblower, coming to talk to us about his new book, Unmasking Facebook. I think that's what's called. Facebook, The Unmasking of, or something like that. Whatever it is, I'm excited to have Ryan back on. It's been a little bit, and I can't wait to hear about his book. So join us at 10:30 Eastern Standard tonight, and tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's just a Saturday. It's just day 992. That's nothing. We are 90s away from the 1,000th day in a row of the Renaissance Man show. Whew. Do I quit at 1,000, guys, or should I keep going? Of course I keep going. Come on, what are you kidding me? So until tomorrow, Cheryl, or tomorrow, till later. That's right, part 2 of the show in roughly 10 hours. Cheryl, Drifting, Juniper, Christine, Paul, Salted, Thunderbird Signs. Diana, I'm so glad you're here. Hopefully we'll see you later. And I got your note that you work early, so you may be catching more of the replays. But leave comments when you catch the replays. I try to respond to everybody. And definitely the replays are awesome to watch. And if you open up the live chat, you could see what everybody was saying the night before. So, until later, when we do it all over again, fam. It's Mark Pires. And it's Renaissance Man. I love you guys. I'll see you later.